What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Kelly Matthews, and today we're going to be talking about push-ups. You guys know I love to lift heavy and to move heavy weight, but I also think it's really important for us to be able to move our own body weight, and a push-up is the best way to do that. There's a lot of different ways that you can modify and build up to your first body weight push-up, and I'm going to go through the most important things that you need to do to get there fast and safely. So first of all, we're going to come down and take a look at what a good push-up looks like and how you should set up and what the goal is in the long term. So you're going to start with your hands pretty much directly underneath your shoulders, maybe slightly wider. You want to spread your fingers out nice and wide. And then you're going to step your feet back. I like to have my feet about hips width distance apart. From here, you want to come into a really strong plank position, which we'll go over a little bit later. You want to make sure that your shoulders aren't back behind your hands here. Shift slightly forward. Stay high up on your toes. Tuck your tail. And one important thing here is that when you lower down, your elbows are not going to go straight out to the side. They're going to stay about 45 degrees away from your torso. So if you're looking at me from above, it's actually going to make like an arrow shape. From there, you're going to lower all the way down, leading with your chest. Make sure you're keeping your chin back. You want to try to get as close to the ground as you can and lead with your belly button as you press up. So when you press up, you don't want to press up here or with your butt up. Okay, so you want to keep that strong plank position the whole time. So to start off our modifications and building up to the full push-up, the first thing you want to know is your high plank position. So starting out, we've got our spread fingers, shoulders over our hands, and just some things to remember. This should be a really active pose. So when you're in a plank, it's about engaging as much of your body as you can in order to make your plank position really, really strong and stable. So I'm going to squeeze my quads, slightly tuck my tail, pull my belly button up toward my spine, shift slightly forward, and push my hands into the floor. You'll see my shoulder blades kind of spread a little bit. This is a really strong starting position. And here, I just want you guys to hold that. So getting up to 60 seconds in your high plank position is going to be a great place to start for your push-ups, because that's where you're going to have to start and end your push-up every single time. If you're not able to do that on the ground yet, even for a few seconds, you can elevate it up on a box, which is what we're going to do next. Anytime you're modifying your push-ups, I want you to do your best to do it from an elevated surface. Instead of doing push-ups from your knees or girl push-ups, which we'll never call them, you want to do them from an elevated surface instead, because then you get some reps in that full push-up plank position. When you're doing them on your knees, it just changes the exercise entirely. So what you can do is use a box like this, which is great because you can manipulate how high it is. The higher it is, the easier it's going to be for you. So you want to start in that same position. You're really high up on your toes, and you're going to push up from here with all the same cues. Once that feels really easy and you can do 10 plus reps there, then you can come down to a lower height, which is going to be significantly more difficult. So from here, once you can get 10 reps, bringing your chest all the way down to the box, keeping a strong plank position, then you can bring the box down even further. And then over time, you're going to be able to work your way down to the ground. It's going to take some time, but if you practice consistently, you'll definitely get there. The next thing you want to go into, and you can do these simultaneously or you can wait until you feel a little stronger in your push-up, is going to be the negatives. So you can also do negatives from the box, but if you do them from the floor, it's definitely going to give you a little more bang for your buck. You want to start in push-up position, and it's only doing the lowering down portion of the exercise. So you're going to lower down as slow as you can, release down onto your chest, and then you can just press up through your hands and knees, come back up to the push-up position, and lower down slow. So what you're doing is eccentrically loading the exercise, getting those muscles under load and getting used to moving through the push-up without having to do the concentric portion, which is going to end up being a little bit more difficult. But the more you do negatives, the easier it will be to get to your first push-up. Another assisted variation that can be really helpful for if you're working out at home and you have a mini band, you can take the mini band, put it over your upper arms, right around your biceps. And then when you come into push-up position, it's actually going to act as some assistance. So as you lower down, your torso is going to be kind of supported by the band, and it'll be a little bit easier for you to press up to the top. So that will more work your concentric portion of the exercise. So you want to lower down and then press up as quick as you can. So that will add a little more assistance. If you want to go more on the difficult side, you're good at push-ups and you're ready to challenge yourself, we can add some resistance. So with a longer band, you want to grab onto it with your hands. It's going to go behind your back, and then you'll come down into push-up position. This is going to give you a lot of resistance at the top of the push-up and not as much at the bottom. So as you lower down, it's just adding a little bit of weight onto the top of that push-up. On top of that, you could do a full weighted push-up. So if you have a small plate, you can put that on your back or have somebody else put it on your back for you and do full weighted push-ups. You could also use a weighted vest if you have one of those. All right, y'all, that's it for your push-up guide. Hopefully you learned something today. If you like my content, please subscribe, and you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Kelly L. Matthews. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.